A very good afternoon to all the students who are present today for yet another lecture of second year BCom semester 3 for the subject management. I warmly welcome one and all. Now students, you have been attending number of lectures in management and you are aware that we have discussed number of topics in the second unit of management that talks about the recent techniques in human resource management. Out of all the different techniques we have been discussing, the employee leasing, that is to say, employees for lease, we have discussed moonlighting by employees with its reasons, pros, and cons, also the types such as blue moon to full moon. We have also understood the dual career groups. We have understood flexi time, and in the previous lecture, I also explained you the meaning of flexi work. We had a slight discussion on the meaning of TQM, that was your total quality management. So today I shall be explaining you the concept of TQM in a much detailed manner, and thereby we would also pay attention to different importance or advantages of the concept of total quality management. So you can say that from now onwards the lectures coming would focus more on one concept, that is your total quality management. In lectures to come we are going to understand about the history of TQM, what are the different principles of the quality management, how is it different from the functional management, and so on. So as you see, from now onwards, all the topics remaining in this unit would focus more on an aspect, that is TQM and its techniques known as total quality management. So before we start with the new topic, I would again show you all what you have already covered. Of course, I'm not going to discuss them in detail, as we have not only discussed it but also revised the same. So students, you have understood with employee leasing as to how the companies can acquire employees on lease basis from the leasing organizations against a certain charge or a fees, and how was it beneficial. Number two, you have understood the moonlighting by employees, how employees were working at more than one place in order to earn more money or to develop their skills or to fight back the boredom or make use of the surplus time. We also saw how the two jobs have not to be related to each other. We saw different reasons of moonlighting. And most importantly, we have understood the different types of moonlighting. I hope that you are clear with all the types, such as the blue moonlighting, the quarter moonlighting, the half moonlighting, and the full moonlighting. With this, I had also explained you the dual nature of moonlighting, that is to say, from where is it acceptable and on what grounds is it not acceptable. Thereby, we have studied the third technique also, that talked on the dual career groups, how both in a married couple are working professionals, and what were the factors that tends to increase the women employment. Thereby, we understood two different concepts on flexi time and flexi work. I hope you remember the difference between the two. So when I talk about flexi time, the employees were given an opportunity to select flexible working hours. Of course, there was a co-working period where everybody had to remain present, but for the other part of the day, they were given the flexibility to choose their own working hours. So we had understood its advantages and few limitations here and there. In the previous lecture, that is to say in the last lecture, we discussed one more concept on flexi work, where we did not talk about the flexible working time, but the work itself could be made flexible. That is, the employees were given an opportunity to work at different jobs or different parts in an organization. He may have joined as one department, let us say production department, but after some fixed time period, he would also be given the opportunity, the flexibility to work in other departments of the organization as well. So it would definitely give him more specialization, and he would not get bored of the routine task or monotonous task every day. We had seen the reasons as to why flexi work was given more importance, because of the over specialization in all the work, lack of challenging work, lack of interest, and due to the routine or the monotonous nature of work, an opportunity was given to the employees to work at different jobs, different departments in an organization. That is to say, flexibility given in terms of the work to be performed. So we had very well understood with its advantages. And students, I also explained you few of the limitations, few of the disadvantages too that have to be considered for flexi work. So I hope that you are by now clear with all the techniques that we have covered in unit number 2, whether employee leasing, whether moonlighting, the dual career groups, flexi time and flexi work. I can say all the techniques were different from each other. All were quite interesting to understand as well. So now onwards in the entire unit, you will see one part that will be paid more attention to, that is nothing but quality, in which we are going to study the concept that is known as TQM. Abbreviation is of Total Quality Management. I gave you a slight hint in the previous lecture also as to what do you mean by TQM, but today I will be giving you a detailed understanding of the entire concept of total quality management, and thereby we would understand today its importance and its advantages. So students, before I actually explain you the meaning of TQM, I would first show you the concept. So I hope you remember that TQM was made up of three aspects. That is to say, total, quality, and management. Total in the sense because TQM focuses on the quality of each and every aspect in the organization, whether it be a small product that is manufactured, whether it be the service that is provided, any sort of process or any sort of production has to be of ultimate quality. And because it is total, it means that every person involved in the organization, whether an individual or whether a group or whether the management, has to be quality conscious. Ultimately, the quality has to be managed in the sense it has to be a continuous improvement in the quality. It is not a quick fix or it is not a one time show. It is not just improvised for a specific time period. But when I talk about quality management, it is a continuous improvement in the quality. So, thereby, it is made up of these three aspects that you see, first being total, second being quality, and the third being management. The main crux of total quality management is basically to understand what the customers need. What are the customers' needs? And in order to satisfy those customers, you need to satisfy those needs. You need to provide them goods and services which are of supreme quality. And it is not to be done for one time, but it is to be done every time. It is only possible where every employee, every individual in the organization becomes quality conscious. Because when every possible process is free of defects, the ultimate product has to be a defect free product. So let us understand all the three concepts. First, being total, as I said, everyone is to be involved in creating and maintaining the quality of every service, every product that is offered by the organization. So basically, you want interaction by everyone. Everyone has to be involved at every level of organization. They have to be made quality conscious, because quality improvement is not the responsibility of a single person. It is a joint responsibility of everybody in the organization, and thereby the word comes total. Students, the next was quality. So by quality, we mean that quality of the product of every service has to be improvised based on the customer's needs. If you want to satisfy the needs of the customers, if you want to keep your customers satisfied, you need to give them good quality products and services which are durable, which are much more reliable. So, through individual and collective actions, it focuses on meeting the customer's needs at lowest cost, giving them the best quality products, not first time, but every time. Because it is the customer's perception that identifies quality. When you see your customers are satisfied, when you see that their needs are satisfied, definitely it shows the quality of the product. It shows how far the product is durable and reliable. And lastly, management, that is to say, it is not a quick fix, it is not a one time show, but it is a continuous improvement. It is management done by everybody in the organization. Because when every single person is conscious about their job, about their responsibility, they are managing their own job very well, ultimately the final product has to be of ultimate quality. So, as I said, emphasis has to be on continuous improvement, not on quick fixes. Everyone in the organization to be made responsible for managing their own job. So, I hope that you are clear. Why is the name TQM? What does Total Quality Management stand for? So if I just sum up whatever we have discussed, I've put some three definitions that you can read and thereby understand the concept of TQM even better. So according to the International Organization Standards, TQM is a management approach. Of course, it is a management philosophy of an organization which is centered on quality. If there is anything we have discussed more in TQM, it is nothing but one aspect, quality, based on the participation of all its members. As I said, quality has to be managed, quality has to be improved. But is it the work only of a single person or a group of person? No. It is the task of every person involved in the organization, whether it be from the lower level, whether it be from the higher level, or any level of organization. The entire management has to remain conscious towards the quality and aiming at long-term success through customers' satisfaction and benefits to all the members of the organization and society. Ultimately, TQM also focuses on maintaining such a quality that the customers' needs are satisfied, they stay satisfied and loyal towards the organization. So it is a continuous effort, as I said, not a one-time show. It is a continuous improvement. You can never say that quality is to be improved only for a particular time period. So it is continuous process of management as well as employees of the particular organization to ensure long-term customer loyalty and customer satisfaction. When you are giving them best quality products and services, you are giving them products which are durable and reliable, definitely their needs would be satisfied and they stay loyal towards the organization. We also talked about it in the previous lecture that customers are the king of market. If there is one customer who becomes satisfied with your product, who is loyal towards you, he can influence 10 other customers also to buy products from your organization. But if that one customer remains dissatisfied, he can also have the power to influence many others not to buy from your organization. So customers have such kind of influential power for which they have to be remained satisfied and their needs have to be fulfilled. They are to be given products which are of the best quality, services which are excellent, and thereby their needs have to be kept satisfied. So you need to give something extra to your customers to expect loyalty in return. You need to give them something extra so that they stay loyal towards your organization. Quality can be measured in terms of durability, reliability, usage, and so on. These are few adjectives that can define whether the product is of good quality or not. So, lastly, to sum up the entire concept, I can say that TQM, Total Quality Management, is a structured effort by employees to continuously improve the quality of their products and services through proper feedbacks and research. You can take feedback from the customers, you can do a market research. Thereby, once you know the customer's needs, you know their taste and preferences, you can make a continuous improvement in your products and services, thereby keep every customer satisfied. As I said, it is not the responsibility of only a single member, but quality needs to be improvised continuously by every person in the organization, whether an individual, whether the group of people, or the total organization. So I hope that you are clear with the entire meaning of total quality management, where total meaning to say everyone involved in the organization, quality meaning to say quality to be improvised of products and services as per customers' needs, and lastly management, where we mean there has to be a continuous improvement, not a one-time show. So with this, we have ended up with the concept of total quality management. We would now understand what are the different advantages of total quality management, why TQM is acceptable by every organization, what are the importances of applying total quality management. So students, up till now you might have got an idea that when we are undertaking total quality management, we are enabling a continuous improvement of the quality of goods and services by making every person involved in the organization. We are wanting to satisfy the customer's needs, tastes and preferences by giving them the most durable, reliable product, giving them the best quality products. So when you are focusing on these aspects, you very well know what could be its advantages or importance. When you give them good quality products, the customers would stay loyal towards you, would be satisfied, and they would help increase the demand for the product. Ultimately, it increases our productivity, increases our profitability as an organization. Also, when everybody is responsible and is quality conscious, the production, ultimate production, has to be defect free. It would be free from any sort of errors or defects. Thereby, the product stands out to the standards of best quality. Of course, the wastages can be controlled, wastages can be avoided, and thereby the company as a whole can survive in this highly competitive environment. So with this, let us understand the advantages one by one. So number one, total quality management helps to focus clearly on the needs of the market. As I said, the base itself is the customer need. It would first help us identify what are the needs of the customers, what are the needs of the people in your target market. Once you know their needs, once you know their taste and preferences, you know what the customers expect from us, you can definitely make the same goods available. You can improvise on the quality of the goods and services, and thereby you can keep your customers satisfied. So the needs change from person to person, also from place to place. But as TQM focuses on the concept of universality, it tries to abstract the satisfaction perceptions of the market and thus helps the organization identify and meet the requirements of the market in a better way. It is definitely focusing on the concept of universality, where everybody involved in the organization would work for quality improvement, and we want to satisfy the needs of every customer. So it would help identify those needs and thereby would also help take measures to satisfy the same. It could be definitely satisfied when you give them products which are of best quality at the reasonable price possible. So definitely their needs would remain satisfied. That would be the first most important advantage of TQM. Number two, TQM facilitates to aspire for a top quality performer in every sphere of activity. I can say the base itself of TQM is to become the top quality performer. You want to be the organization who is supplying products and services of the best quality whatsoever in the entire market. And that is possible only when you accept TQM as a concept in your organization. When I say that in TQM, every single employee is held quality conscious and quality responsible, we also want that their attitudes are such that is completely participative towards quality improvement. That is to say, negative attitudes should not be welcomed because it is a well accepted fact that negative attitudes of employees and non participative culture of organization poses the greatest hurdle to organization's success, growth, and prosperity. Imagine a situation that you want everybody to be involved in quality improvement, you want everybody to be conscious about quality, but if the people have a negative attitude, if they are hesitant towards their duties, if they are not participative jointly, they are not giving their joint efforts, definitely the company cannot prosper. Ultimately, the products will not be free of defects or errors, and it would likely reduce the customer loyalty towards them. So TQM would focus on bringing about such attitudinal and cultural change through promotion of participative work culture and effective teamwork. It would help the people to work as a team, consider quality improvement as a joint responsibility. So it serves to satisfy higher teamwork and higher employee interest in the job. So I hope you are clear that TQM helps identify the needs and thereby will help take steps to satisfy those needs. Secondly, it would help the organization to become the topmost quality performer by having a joint effort, a teamwork by every person involved in the organization. With this, we move ahead to number three. It channelizes the procedures necessary to achieve quality performance. That is to say, it will channelize every procedure so that quality can be improvised. It is not just quality of a process, quality of one product that we are talking, but we are considering the development and improvement of quality at every stage whatsoever. If the production process passes through number of stages, quality has to be considered at every part of it, because if every stage becomes quality proof and becomes error and defects free, the final product will be of the supreme quality. So quality in its true sense cannot be achieved instantly. It cannot be just quick instance. It has to take some time. So it requires a systematic long-term planning and strategic approach by focusing on defining the quality policies, goals, and objectives, and communicating these properly to one and all in the organization. You have to design a plan, a long term plan. You have to design a strategy, and thereby you have to communicate the same to each and everyone in the organization so that they can channelize their efforts, they can put their efforts to achieve the desired and objective quality performance. Imagine a situation that you know what you want to do, you know how the quality has to be improvised, whose quality has to be improvised, but if it is not well communicated to the employees in the organization, you cannot expect a collective effort from their end. So once a plan is framed, a strategy is formulated for quality achievement, the same has to be communicated as well in the organization so that everybody knows the final destination and they know how they need to reach out to that destination. Number four, TQM also helps examine critically and continuously all processes to remove the non productive activities and waste. I mentioned it earlier also that total quality management is to maintain quality, but that is maintained by removing and reducing the wastages as well. When there is clear cut communication, of course, the duplication of activities can be removed, misunderstanding can be reduced, thereby resulting to reduction in the wastage. So organization aims at improving the productivity as it leads to the reduction in the cost resulting in increase in profitability. When quality is improvised, customers' needs are satisfied, the demand tends to go high, definitely the production will increase, the cost of production would reduce and thereby increase the profitability. Formation of quality improvement team which tries to remove non-productive activity, identifies the problem and resolves them, thereby helping to reduce waste. It would help you identify those activities which are completely non-productive, would also help you identify any problem whatsoever, and thereby helps taking steps to reduce the wastage. So I hope that you are clear with the advantages that we have discussed, namely identifying the needs of the customers and thereby working for the satisfaction of the same. Thereby, we discussed about how change in the attitude is to be brought about in order to achieve and become a top quality performer. Thirdly, we discussed how the strategy and the plan has to be communicated to one and all. And then we studied how the wastage can be reduced and thereby quality can be improvised. Moving ahead, number 5, total quality management gears the organization to fully understand the competition and develop an effective strategy. This is something important because, as I mentioned earlier, also the organization is working in a dynamic environment. There are number of changes taking place everywhere. Because of this global competition, there is a problem for the organization to survive effectively in the market. It has become survival of the fittest these days. So it would also help the organization to understand this competition, and thereby when one tries to improvise the quality of the product, when the organization is satisfying the needs, the taste, the preferences of the customers, it would definitely have a competitive edge in the market. It would be able to stand out right against all the competitors. So it would help understand this competition and thereby would also help design a strategy to meet the same. Because there are so many changes taking place in the global market, it has resulted in increased competition. We have seen globalization and how entry of so many MNCs have posed challenges everywhere. So survival has become the key issue for many organizations. It is essential for the organizations today to understand the competition and develop suitable strategies to meet the challenge. Once you know about the competition surrounding, you can take those strategies, you can frame those plans, and thereby would be able to meet the challenge. TQM helps the organization to understand the pulse of the customer and the market. Pulse of the customer meaning to say you can identify the needs of your customers in the market very well, and thereby you take those steps to satisfy the needs. You give products which are of best quality, and thereby it gives you an edge to meet the competition. Such an organization which has understood the competitive environment, which has understood the needs of customers and tries to work towards the same satisfaction of needs, giving the best quality products and services, would definitely be able to achieve the competitive edge in the market. So I hope that you are clear with this point as well. Coming to the last few advantages of total quality management. So number 6, it helps to develop good procedure for communication and acknowledging good work. We studied earlier also that quality is a matter of concern for everybody in the organization. So they need to be communicated well. They need to be given communication in such a manner that misunderstanding is removed, confusion is removed, so there would be no duplication of efforts, there would be no poor quality of products, there would be no low productivity and no low morale. We have understood earlier also that there has to be an attitudinal change amongst the workers. They have to be such who are working collectively and considering quality to be their joint responsibility. So TQM brings such people, all the members of different levels of management together by providing them effective communication and interaction. Because it is only through a good communication and interaction that you can make everybody participate in the process of quality improvement. So it also helps to give a good procedure for communication. You need to acknowledge good work as well, so that it brings a change in the mindset of employees and they become much more quality conscious. Lastly, it helps to receive the process need to develop the strategy of never ending improvement. This we have been studying from the very first aspect of TQM, that it does not focus on a quick fix. It is not quality improvement, let us say for a month or for a year or for a specified time period. It is a never ending improvement. Quality improvement efforts cannot be restricted to any time period. They need to be continuous to meet the dynamic changes, because as changes are taking place at such a fast speed everywhere, even the same thing has to be done for the quality of product also. The needs of the customers change from time to time and place to place. So in order to keep those needs satisfied, you need to bring about a change, improvement in the quality as well. It emphasizes on continuous and periodic review so as to make the required changes. So, as an organization, you need to review your steps. You need to continuously and periodically review the products, the quality of the same, and thereby make the changes if necessary as per the changing needs and preferences of the customers. So I hope that you are clear with today's discussion on the concept of total quality management with all the different advantages of total quality management. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss a very interesting question on the history of total quality management, as to from where did it emerge, how did it emerge. So that we would be discussing in the next lecture. Till then, you can have a look at all the advantages that we have discussed. So we have discussed how TQM helps identify the needs and satisfy the same, how it helps to become a top quality performer by bringing changes in the attitude and culture of all the employees, how to frame long-term plans, strategies to improvise the quality and communicate to one and all in the organization, how to remove the non-productive activities and waste, how to understand the competition, thereby satisfy the needs of the customers, have a good procedure for communication, and lastly, improvement that is never ending. So I hope that you are clear with whatever we discussed today. In case you have any doubts, any queries whatsoever, feel free to post them in the Google Classroom of the respective class, and I shall be answering to them at the earliest. See you soon in the next lecture, where we shall be discussing about the history of total quality management and some of its principles as well. Keep reading. Thank you so much for the day, and until then, happy learning.